No, I don't want to be on stage. I don't even know if I was being heard during all of that. Anyway, so with the Descript app, it lets us remove those filler words, which dropped 20 seconds off the video, another 2 seconds by removing the word gaps. And now I'm going to go through and physically listen to the clip and make sure that it didn't miss any filler words, which it usually does. Like, I don't think I've had a video yet where it didn't miss some filler words. So I'm going to also go ahead and do our captions, which I just kind of choose this karaoke classic and then do a couple customizations to it. I'm still waiting for them to let you create your own style that you can keep and not have to continually go through and do this. But I like to click on the font and choose the slab. I like a little bit of serif in there. I already have it set so that the blue word is the word that's being spoken, but I do like the fill for that word to be black in that blue background. I think that stands out better. And then the background color, because a lot of times you'll see white in the background of the video, I like to change that to black. So you can't see it now because the whole background is black, but you'll see it once we start adding some background video, that in order for that to stand out a little better. So our captions are stylized and ready to go. It's going to be based off of the transcript here. So now we're going to go through and edit the transcript. I'm going to listen through, correct any spelling errors, remove any hidden ums. Let me increase the size of my timeline so I can get those ums easier. And usually they're highlighted with this gray. And if you're ever using the app and you do want to zoom in, you just basically hover your mouse over the timeline, hold down Control, and then move your mouse wheel, depending on how far in you want to go to see what you need to clip out. So we'll go through that process as I'm doing this, but let's go ahead and listen. One of the things I am going to change is this is the pin, and because I don't know if it's spelled that way throughout other elements or other parts of this clip, I'm going to go ahead and say correct all, and it's going to show me any listing. It's just once, but we're going to go ahead and hit correct all for that. So now let's give it a listen. I'm also going to work on the audio quality too as we're going through this process.
DPIN is a decentralized physical infrastructure. It's a way to make your server or other.
Now, one of the things this program has is this studio sound functionality. And what that does when I click on it is it starts going through, or it may have already gone through, it looks like it is still going through the sound and then boosting it to be more podcast quality. It takes out kind of like that sharp echo that you hear in the background. I'll show you as I'm processing because I'll turn it off and on during the same speaker, and that way you can see the major difference that it makes. So let me see if it's already on now.
DPIN is
yeah, it's already on now. So I'm going to let this play and I'm going to turn this off and on so that you can hear the difference.
Centralized physical infrastructure. It's a way to make
so this
your
is
server
off
or other hardware available online in a Web3
and that's on,
where you can do order matching for.
So it uses some sort of like AI technology or functionality there to really get like drill down into the audio and boost it to make it sound more professional and make it sound more clear. It's not perfect. I will say that if it's an audio clip that is kind of low, and this is an issue I have on another clip I've been like slightly editing, and I've used one of them recently on X, if you ever follow along with this project, but it kind of makes it sound like it's going in and out, like loud, and it's just not, it's not even volume at all. If you were trying to edit a clip that's really low and it's really trying to figure out what the heck is being said. So luckily this is not one of those clips, but just to throw that out there, it does have an amazing sound studio AI functionality, but it's not perfect. It's just, it's really good for most clips.
DPIN is a decentralized physical infrastructure.
And I'm actually curious, the interviewer, I'm going to turn it off on the interviewer real quick and turn it back on to see if it helps with his sound too, because he's obviously on a different mic, different system. So
yeah, man, that's pretty epic. So how does that
differ
from server hosting, like companies that allow
physical and that's on
hardware space for companies?
Like even that, like it's like night and day with the quality. But again, for those that are just tuning in, I do see a couple people watching live. I'm just going through. I've already chosen my clip. I've already used some of the AI functionality that Descript has, such as removing filler words, which it actually removed 20 seconds worth of like uhs and ums and you knows and shit that I say all day anyway. And then I did a shortened word gaps, which only removed like 2 or 3 seconds, but anything that's longer than a second, that's empty space, it just removes those automatically from the clip. We applied our caption here, so now we're just going through and checking spelling and getting rid of any extra ums or filler words that the AI wasn't able to detect. So that's the part of the flow that I'm on right now with editing this for turning it into a video from a podcast.
DePIN is a decentralized physical infrastructure, the way to make your server or other hardware available online in a Web3 environment.
I think I am going to change this. While it's accurate, Web3 is more designated with this, if that makes sense.
Web3 environment where you can do order matching for.
I'm going to take this "and" out. I think that's technically like an like a filler word, but here, let me listen to it again.
Where you can do order matching.
See, it's still there. I think it's this grayed out clip here. I like that Descript kind of helps you with manual edits that you might have to do by graying out that stuff. So let's see if that's what that was.
Where you can do order matching for purchasing the hardware, compute capacity, and payment all in crypto. And there's just a huge number of DePIN projects out there.
I'm going to take this out because it's kind of saying the exact same words.
And there's just a huge number of DePIN projects out there.
All right, so DePIN is another thing that AI usually, it's DePIN, D-I-P-I-N, but the audio, I mean, it sounds like DePIN, so I get why it says that, but I'm going to go through, and there's 3 other instances just to change or correct the captions for people that are reading this as well. So we're going to go ahead and change all of these, and now they're all updated throughout the script. It doesn't change the audio, it's just changing the spelling for the captions.
DePIN projects out there. We're here actually, the whole team at Consensus right now this week in Austin, Texas, and we're looking to meet with a lot of DePIN projects out there. Names that would be familiar in this space would be 𝙎𝙤𝙤𝙤𝙤 or 𝙎𝙤𝙤𝙛𝙩𝙬𝙬.
It's 𝙎𝙤𝙤𝙤𝙤. Now I'm tempted because it's been a month since they were at Consensus, so I'm trying to decide now. And this is another thing where, if you're doing audio editing and you're kind of just left up to your own devices, these guys just basically gave me the ball and are having me do whatever I want with it, which is great. I love the freedom with that, but there's times like this where it's like I have to make some executive decisions and there's no way I'm going to get a hold of them, especially today. Not that any one of them lives in the States with me, but like, do I keep that? It's not relevant anymore, but it's not really relevant to the clip. But I do like that he mentions 𝙎𝙤𝙤𝙤 and 𝙎𝙤𝙤 because those are big names that we, are always willing to partner with. And I don't know.
And we're looking to meet.
It may also provide some context to people that are listening to it that might know these other AI and DePIN style companies. So
a lot of DePIN projects out there. Names that would be familiar in this space would be 𝙎𝙤𝙤𝙤 or 𝙎𝙤𝙤 or Ether. Some big market cap projects out there, of course. And then on the decentralized artificial intelligence,
I am gonna make Ether since it's the name of a company. And again, I never claim to be very good with grammar at all, but there's a couple things I can obviously pick out, but don't come at me for too much grammar because I did not do well with grammar, unfortunately.
And then on the decentralized artificial intelligence side, the biggest market cap right now,
Let's see, there was a bit of a stutter there, which is, I don't know if it's this whole thing. Hold on. Let me double check here. Let me click right above where it starts.
Biggest market cap.
Yeah, I think it's this whole clip here, including that little pink bit. So what I would do is there's a blade option here. It's basically like your scissors. You're going to cut pieces out of the audio, which will also affect your text if you're not too careful. So you have to be mindful of that. But I'm going to go ahead and delete this whole thing by clicking on either side and then selecting it and then getting rid of it. And it didn't change anything on the text, just a little bit of spacing, but let's see how it sounds now. Make sure it doesn't make it sound off.
Artificial intelligence side. The biggest market cap right now,
Nah,
the
it's
biggest
perfect.
blockchain for AI is 𝙎𝙤𝙤𝙤𝙤𝙤.
And this period is in an awkward spot. I'm change that to a comma because that wasn't the end of the
The
sentence.
biggest blockchain for AI is 𝙎𝙤𝙤𝙤𝙤, and that's the tau in our name is a throwback or call out to Tensor, whose token trades as tau as well.
Now, I'm going to change the tau. I know that that's the correct spelling for in different contexts, but for this, the actual token is TAO. So we are going to correct all to the correct spelling for this particular instance.
The tau in our name is a throwback or call out to Tensor, whose token trades as tau as well.
Yeah, man, that's pretty epic. So how does that differ from server hosting?
All right, so the how can go away as part of his question.
So does that differ from server hosting?
Now, when you see these speaker labels, I like the speaker labels. They're all built in, and it does usually auto-detect pretty well. It hasn't done it 100%. I've had a couple where I had to go in and manually be like, no, this is a different speaker. But it helps to, if you ever want to download a transcript with the audio to differentiate who's speaking. And we do this a lot for international holders of the 𝙎𝙤𝙤 token, that especially some of our French community members prefer it because it allows them to translate into a language that's easier for them to understand. And it also, this program, and I have not played with this a lot, and I will not play with this with a client. I don't think I'll have the opportunity to not that I wouldn't necessarily, but it can actually, if you train it, I think it's like a 10-minute segment of you talking. If you train it with your voice, and it has mind trained, so I can use it for my own personal videos, but it'll then be able to create an AI copy of your voice if you need to change out a word. So again, I could do it for clients, but getting them to sit down for 10 minutes and be like, all right, I need you to say this script, and we're going to train my AI software to speak like you. I can't see that being something that any of them are either one, willing to do, or two, have the time to do. If they really want to, I always make that an option, but I did it for myself because there are times where I'll say words and I'm like, what are you saying? What was that word? You said that the wrong word or something like that. So it comes in handy with that, but I have not used it often. I just like that it's a feature. So, but that's another thing on here, that when you label your speaker, it knows what AI voice to use if that was the functionality you were using for that, if that makes sense.
So does that differ from server hosting, like companies that allow physical hardware space for companies, or do you guys actually have like physical facility where you have computers and servers set up? Help me explain the difference there. I'm sorry, I'm an idiot.
Yeah, no, that's a great question.
Do I really need? I don't think I need this where the speaker is calling himself an idiot. I mean, I appreciate his candor there, but like, it doesn't necessarily need to be in the clip. So
It's a great question. I think it's a good way to make the distinction.
all right, there's a lot of stumbling over words right there. So I know this is an so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this. But I'm trying to figure out what the heck got stumbled here. It went so quick. Hold on.
I think it's.
I think that it's, or is it actually I think it to its
Question. I think it's a good way to make the distinction.
I can't tell, but I think if I get rid of one, it'll still work. Hold on.
Question. I think it's a good way to make the distinction.
Yeah, I think just deleting that will make it work fine.
Distinction between what we do and what people who are aggregating graphics cards from home computers might do. So on one hand, like there are probably projects.
So this probably needed a period at the end of it. And let's start from here.
Home computers might do. So on one hand, like there are probably projects that if you have a NVIDIA 4090 card in your computer, you could, point it at a DPIN project and maybe make a few pennies a day providing that resource to them. But
the only issue with cutting some of these filler words is it does sound choppy now and then, but I think in the end, I think we're used to that, because I don't know if you guys, the couple of you that are watching, if you're ever watching YouTube video, you can tell people are clipping from one section to another of whatever they recorded. I mean, it's kind of standard now. I wish it didn't sound so choppy.
But and I think that probably does serve like some use case in this space. But
Aha, I think this is an that got missed. So we're going to go in here and delete that. And listen again.
that probably does serve like some use case in this space. But what AI developers in particular need is top spec machines to run to
Period needs to go.
need is top spec machines to run to do their model training.
Let me take all this out.
Machines to do their model training on and to do their model inference or running their AI models on.
All right. I think we're pretty good for this clip. We're down to 1 minute and 33 seconds, which is great. It's right within range of what I want for putting it on Twitter, but I guess the other thing I need to think about is my main concern is when we do these interviews is the content relevant to be posted? And the only reason I was considering this piece is when you're looking at a crypto coin that is centered around decentralized intelligence or artificial intelligence, you'll get like buzzwords, DPIN or DeFi or whatever, and a lot of people don't understand what that means. And that's kind of why I chose this clip, because even me, I'm like, I was into NFTs for a long time. I'm really now getting into crypto beyond ETH and Bitcoin. So when I hear stuff like DPIN and DeFi and even DEAI, like decentralized artificial intelligence, there are these acronyms and buzzwords, and it's like, what? There's so many. It's like a new language. So I wanted to have educational videos out there. So I think understanding what DPIN is, especially because it's relevant to this particular project, because we own the hardware, we have a data center, we spent $2 million. I say we because I am part of the team now. For those that aren't aware, I'm not on the board. I'm not like a founder or anything, but they have hired me to do not only their social media, but I'm also doing their business partnerships now. Or they hired Misfit, I guess, but specifically me that's doing it. But to understand these buzzwords and why they're relevant. And so when I look at our stats, because I've been doing their social media since April or like mid-April or whatever, the social media posts that do the best are the ones that are some sort of significant announcement, which of course would affect price. Those are always going to be the popular number one post. But 2, educational content has been the second most popular. So when I look through these clips of these podcasts and these interviews, I'm trying to find things that fall into those type of categories. It's either explaining the project, it's educating the populace, it's providing an announcement that may affect price. Those are things that I have to consider when going through this. So I think something that explains what DPIN is to all the crypto boys that may have been around since 2017 or whatever, but artificial intelligence has not to the degree that we're used to now. So to see all of these AI coins and AI projects come out, I think is worthy of creating these educational clips, even if the majority of our community may already understand what that means. So that's just a small tangent. All right, so we've got our clip done. The next thing I do is I pull up Canva, and let me pull up I'll bring it over shortly. Remember which Canva template I was using for this. Was it this one? I don't think it was this one. Oh, it was this one. Okay, perfect. So let me bring over Canva. And normally I just have my usual outro and a couple clips in the background of AI or technology style videos running in the background. I have a couple little music clips or sound clips, like this one is typing noise. This one is a computer glitch noise. Actually, let me pull this duration out here. So the computer glitch, I usually have once the website is more visible. Typing is happening here. I'll let you guys listen real quick. And then when we get to the glitch noise, there will be music in the background too. Like that. So I'm gonna get rid of this song here because I usually try to change out the song every time, and I also try to change out the clips. Now the other thing I have to look at is how long do I need clips for. So if I'm going into Descript, I need 1 minute and 33 seconds. So basically I need 93 seconds worth of background video and audio, and then it'll go into the outro. So I usually open up my calculator and I'll keep track of the time that I'm using when I start pulling these clips out. So sorry, I'm making sure there's not an egg customer here, because if there is, my dog's gonna go ballistic, and I feel bad for anybody that's listening. And I also feel bad for myself because he's very, very loud, but I don't think there is. So I'm gonna look up some words like tech, see if we can get some new clips in here. This one looks interesting. This is 30 seconds of, I guess, what would you call this? Like glitchy something. And it said 30 seconds, so I don't know that I want to use the whole 30 seconds on one clip though. I think I might use half, like 15. Yeah, let's go to 15, and I'll put that in my little calculator here so I know what we're at. And then sometimes I will reuse clips. Like, let's see, I think I'll reuse this one. So I'm gonna drag this in here. This one's a 19-second clip, 19.9. So we're at 34.9 seconds of background. I think this is just like a numbers, I don't know. I don't really want to use another black and white one like that, but what is this one? I think this is just like, I don't even know what you would call that. Like, it's like constellations, glitchy tech thing. I think I will reuse this particular clip again. Is it any longer than that? 8.3. So let me drag that one over. So we will add 8.3. So we're at 43 seconds. And now we'll go find some new clips. So starting here, I'm going to do a search for AI now. I don't know how often Canva updates its library of stock videos that you can use. I think I will include this one. This is 19 seconds. 18.7. So we're at 61. So we're at a minute. So we need, what do we need? 93 seconds? Okay. What else do we got here? I know I've used this one before, but I'm going to go ahead and add it again. And I don't know that I want a full 30 seconds of one clip, but I will do like 15. I'll even do 20 in some degrees. So let's add 15, so we're at 76.9. Let's see, so we need 16 more seconds. So yeah, let's see if we can find a 20-second clip that we can reuse. I think this one will work. And what do we need? We need, see, I'm having short-term memory. So we need 93 seconds. I'm at 76.9. So I need 10 plus 7. So 17 seconds. You can see how my brain's working today. Let's put, hold on. Let's put 16.9. Well, shoot. I'll leave it like that for now, and we'll see. So that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 videos. Let me move my clips back over. And then I almost want to test it out before we start looking for a song. I think I will. So what clip is this? 34? I think I will. I'm going to download it real quick, and then we'll worry about music. But I want to make sure the length is long enough first. So, hope everybody. Oh, hey. Hey, Wood. Sorry, I just saw your comment. I wasn't looking at that screen. So, the SETI coin, 𝙎𝙤𝙤𝙬𝙖, you can see the URL here. They hired my business to handle all their social media, and also their business partnerships. So they get the majority of my attention now. Now, they're not my only client, and they're not even my only monthly client, but they're definitely my biggest client right now. And I'm trying to be careful not to put all my eggs in one basket. So I'm spending a lot of time on this client, but I'm still maintaining relationships with other clients too, because, you know, you lose that one big client and then you're fucked. And I don't want to do that. But anyway, let me put this into my video folder. We'll call this coin merge AMA DPIN. And then we're going to go into Descript. And this is where the fun part starts. So under project, to me, I still don't understand why this is under layer when this is basically adding a layer. But you go into project in the Descript app, and then you have this little upload button. So from here, let's see, what did I call it? Coin merge AMA DPIN. So I'm going to add that in. It's going to upload the file. It's going to analyze it for audio. Because again, this is an app that goes through audio and all of that to pull transcripts and things like that. But this obviously has no sound to it besides that glitchy sound. So it's going to put everything on top. So what I'll do is I'll click on the layer and then go to layer order and send it to the back. That way it's behind my captions that I've got up here. So the main thing I'm checking for right now is at the end of the clip, I want to make sure that the typing doesn't start too early and kind of over, you know, lay on top of the speaking portion. So I'm going to check that real quick. Then we'll go back and add audio, and then we should be done.
AI models on.
All right. So I didn't hear any typing, but how far of a gap do we have is the other question. So the other thing with Descript is it ends your clip where the text or transcript ends. If you add something that has something beyond that, like an outro, like an ending part, then you have to click on that clip. Let me click on you, and then drag it out to be the full clip. Now I'm not seeing any like audio hills here, so I'm nervous that there's too much space between when the typing noise starts, but we'll see. Actually, that's not bad. See, now you can see the little clips. I think that's what, like maybe half a second.
Models on.
Yeah, I think that's fine. So the next thing that I'm going to do, well, let me drag this out a little further. Actually, let me make my timeline here shorter. There we go. All right. So it'll go into the typing. We'll have music in the background, and then it'll fade into the logo of the project. And then you'll hear the little glitch, and done. So now I just need music. And the way that I'm going to grab the music is I'm going to go to Epidemic Sound. I did some music that I do use in other clips, but I want to see if I can find something new. Because I try to go between sound clips. I'm not always using the same thing. But what I like about Epidemic Sound, and I do pay for a subscription with them, and I think, actually, I'm not sure. Do I have a... I'm trying to see if I have an affiliate link with them. I want to say I thought I did, but I'm not seeing it in my links here. So I'm using StreamYard to film, which I do have an affiliate link there. I have my Descript affiliate link. And Canva got rid of their affiliate thing, so whatever with Canva. But yeah, I don't think I have an Epidemic Sound one. And I don't know if they allow you to just have one. Anyway, So what I like about Epidemic Sound, a lot of YouTubers use it, and it's a really good program, especially if you want to add sound to your videos that you're not going to get hit with like strikes for. Is they let you, well, one, you can download sound effects. If you need that typing sound, came from here. The computer glitch sound, I think I even did, my husband and I did like a children's storybook reading, and I did like the sound effects of animals and stuff that I just got off of here. So it's got a huge sound library, but it's also got a very nice music library. So you can choose by like the genre of music. And for something like a tech company, I usually do go with either electronic or hip hop. I usually do electronic. I might try to do a hip hop today, just because this is, again, it's the crypto community. A lot of them are very much embedded into hip hop, or I don't know. I've always been a metal and bluegrass girl. So, I mean, I like all music, but you know. So you can choose your category, and then you can kind of go through moods. Like if you want something that's, you know, more dramatic, or something that's darker, something that's lighthearted, you have the ability to then filter out the music that you're going to use and whatever, like TikToks or YouTubes or whatever, through choosing a mood. And for this, I don't know, maybe smooth or quirky. I'm going to try smooth. So these, and I don't know what they use to quantify these music clips for the moods, but I guess there's a science behind it. I mean, there's color science, music science makes sense. But I'm going to listen to a couple of these. This is going to be the most annoying part if you're watching, because you're going to hear me listening to probably some bad clips, but I'm going to try to get through these quickly. And technically, and I don't know if it'll let me do that, I really don't want ones that have words. And I know that they can categorize it by that, but I don't know how to, like this one has vocals. It has a little, but I don't know if I can have it show me only ones that don't have vocals. Like I'm not seeing that option. I see beats and vocal. Oh, maybe I can do it that way. Oh, see, I'm learning live on YouTube. Anyway, let's listen. Now, see, this isn't, it's not bad. It's kind of got like a lo-fi vibe to it, but I don't think that would work. And maybe smooth isn't what I should be looking for, because so far all of these sound very like I'm in a coffee shop or I'm at dinner with a date. So I'm going to actually take smooth off. I want something a little bit more, I don't want busy and frantic, but maybe hopeful. Let's try hopeful. Maybe that'll give us a better idea. I don't know, we may not go with hip hop today. Oh yeah, I was gonna say this has a Latin vibe to it, and then I looked over here and I was like, oh, yeah, it's labeled that way, so. I actually like this one a lot. And I think I will download this one to use later, but it feels like this is more of a, not an educational video sound. This is more of a, we're about to rock your world. Like we've got this epic announcement coming out, or this really cool feature coming out. Like I really like this a lot so far. But I think for an educational video, it's too, yeah, it's too epic. It's too epic for educated, but I'm going to download it and use it later, because I actually really do like that. It kind of reminds me of, you ever watched, well, when MTV started to become less cool. Like I grew up in the 90s watching MTV, so I was all like, you know, Headbangers Ball, blah, blah, blah. But when it started getting into the reality shows, like your crib, the MTV Cribs and all of that, like the reality show background noise is what that sounds like to me. I feel like I'm in a video game right now. actually might work. I think this one might work because again, I wanted to do something other than what I've been doing with the electronic music. So I'm thinking this one might work. We're going to try it out. So what I do when I have the sound or the background noise, whatever, is I'll go into Canva and then I'm going to go in here. Let's see. It would have downloaded into a different folder. So I'll upload it to Canva. I'll apply it to the video. And then I'm waiting for my folder. I have a lot of stuff in this folder apparently. So I'll line everything up, do a little bit of audio editing, and then we will add that back to the Descript application. So wait for it to load 1 second. All right, so this was called Yellow Tape, but I am going to go ahead and upload this Pocket Rocket one too, because I did like that one for something. So as these upload, and my method is a little odd. I could just upload these directly to the Descript app, but I have a very, you get set in your ways on how you do things, and I shouldn't. I really need to experiment with other ways to do it, but I'll show you why here in a second. Basically, my thought process behind this is I want to hear what it sounds like with the clips at the end, but I'll have to turn it down because when I turn the whole video down so it's at a proper level with the speaking voices, I don't want the audio for the typing and everything else to be too muted, if that makes sense. So first thing I do is I drag the end of this song or the end of this part to the end of my outro. And the reason I do that, it's not necessary to do that because when you download from Canva, it's only going to download as much as this clip anyway, because that's the last clip I want it to download. But I would prefer, if I go to audio effects, to have a little bit of a fade out at the end. And I usually do between like half a second and a second. So when you're at the end, it's not a hard, sharp end. It's that slight fade out at the end. So, but I'm going to hear what it sounds like with the typing and the glitch, and then we'll adjust our volume accordingly. Right now it's pretty loud. And it's a little overpowering of the typing, and I'm sure we'll do the glitch too. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll click on the clip, and we're going to drag this down. Usually around 14-ish is usually a suitable level for what I'm doing here, but let's see how this sounds now. Let's start back here. Because again, they're going to be talking. Yeah, I think this is good. A good volume. All right, so we're going to re-download this clip. And then we're going to re-upload it to Descript, add it all together, see how it all sounds, do any kind of volume adjustments I have to do, and then we're done. So once that downloads anyway. So for now, I will go ahead and click on this clip and delete it, and then I'll also delete it from here. There it is. Once this is ready to download, we will re-upload and then see how everything sounds. If there's any, a lot of times what I will also do is I will turn the audio up. And actually, I'm going to do that now. I might have to go back to the beginning, but on the voices, I usually try to give them a little bit of a boost. But
DePIN is a decentralized physical infrastructure.
Where we had their studio sound, where again, if you turn it off, it sounds like this, kind of echoey.
Where you can do order
I turn it on, it sounds like quality, but I also like to turn it up a little bit.
Payment all in crypto. And there's just a huge number of DePIN projects out there. We're here, actually, the whole team at Consensus right now.
Okay. So audio is up there, and this is ready to download. So we're going to throw this into this coin merge AME DePIN. And then we are going to go to project, upload, find our clip again. There it is. It's going to analyze it again for the audio as well. So I'll let it do its thing. It'll place it on top of everything. So I will have to re-click select layer, or I mean layer order, send it to the back. And then I'm going to start listing to see how much I need to turn it down. Because I did turn the voices up, and I did turn this down in Canva, but I want to make sure everything sounds pretty good together.
DPIN is a decentralized physical infrastructure, the way to make your server or other hardware available online in a Web3 environment, where you can do order matching for purchasing the hardware or compute capacity and payment all in crypto. And there's just a huge number of DPIN projects out there. We're here actually, the whole team at Consensus right now this week.
I'm slowly turning it down.
Texas, and we're looking to meet with a lot of DPIN projects out there. Names that would be familiar in this space would be.
And the reason I turned studio sound off for the clip, because it doesn't need to be on for the clip. It only needs to be on for the voices. So there's been times where I've added studio sound and it made the quality just sound worse. Like it was going up and down, fading in and out. So I just turn it off automatically. But you can change the level or the volume by just dragging left or right. Left for down, obviously, right for up. And then that's how I kind of adjust.
Xiran or Akash or Ether.
Yeah. So then the last thing I want to check is in the background where we have the typing. How does it sound now that we've turned it down even more? Does that make sense?
Your AI models on.
So we can still hear the typing. And the glitch sounds fine. And the audio. So we're done. This clip is done and ready to go. All I have to do is go to publish and then export. And I've got all my resolution quality set to high. You can set metadata. You can, what the hell is this? Audio stuff. I am not a sound engineer. So if you ask me what any of this stuff meant, I wouldn't know. I can't tell. And then, you know, what do you want to export? You can do the whole video. You can just do the audio. You can just do the transcript. I mean, whatever you want to do. I'm going to do the whole video for right now. So we'll export that and we will call it the same thing, but final. And then we're good. So that is it for editing this particular audio clip, turning it into a video, putting caption, editing it out, the filler words, and adding some video elements to the background just for visual components. And I'm actually going to be doing the whole set of, let's see, March, April, May, 2 in May, and we just had a June AMA. I'm going to be going through and re-editing all of those for just the audio quality and turning them. I just realized YouTube has a podcast functionality now. So I'm going to try that out, but I think it'll be nice to have the full AMAs edited and ready to go for whatever anyway. So and that's it for my live. I'm actually going to upload this to their social media, and then I'm going to go watch a movie and enjoy my holiday. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Thanks for watching.